Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Hello, welcome to Lead Pedal Podcast. I'm your host, Bruce Outridge. This is episode number 972, and this is our Hot Topics episode, and today we're going to share some of the hot topics we've shared over our live shows over the last month or so stay tuned. Hey folks, you know that Bison raised their rates at the beginning of the year for owner-operators and for company drivers. And I gotta tell you, it has been so successful that they wanted to let you know exactly how much their drivers are making. That's right, they have significantly increased the base rates for their teams. So owner-operator teams can earn up to $360,000 per year. That's right, you heard me say that right, $360,000 per year. Company team drivers can earn up to $120,000 per year per driver. That's right, per driver. That's some big numbers, right? They have a wide variety of Canada-only dedicated team positions available for folks to choose from, and Bison has a steady freight to keep the teams moving. So if you want to significantly increase your base rates, then you want to make sure that you sign up for that. Now, Bison has also increased the base rates for owner-operators. Owner-operators running Canada-only can earn up to $185,000 per year. They have a wide variety of Canada-only positions for owner-operators to choose from, and Bison has a steady freight to keep the owner-operators moving. So where can you learn more about all of these things? I mean, you know, $360,000 for owner-operator teams, $120,000 for company driver teams, and owner-operators running by themselves can earn $185,000 per year. Canada only. Folks, that is incredible. Well, the best place to go is to go to bisondriving.com. And while you're there, while you're talking to the team, would you let them know that you heard about it from the Lead Pedal Podcast? Hey, good luck there. You're going to make some great money working for one of the safest fleets in North America. All right, so we got some hot topics that we've got hot topics that come from our LPR live show, and we thought we'd share some of them that we've had over the last little while. In this episode, we're going to be talking about truck routes, the new air brake test, and falsifying your credentials, all things that you want to keep an eye out for. So let's get into our first one here, which is all about truck routes in the city of Hamilton. They're changing a bunch of the signage and stuff as we speak. And hopefully this will get you aware so that you're not getting on the wrong road that you've been taking for the longest time. So let's get into this little bit about truck routes in Hamilton, Ontario. And while we're speaking of RIMS Transport based in Hamilton, Ontario, let's talk about some of the Hamilton changes coming up for truck drivers. That's right, my friends. They are changing some of the routes in Hamilton for trucks. And if you're one of those that regularly travel to Hamilton, you may want to know about this. Right now, as of March 2023, the city's installing new and modified truck route signage through Hamilton to implement the recommendations of a 2022 truck route master plan update. And the route network is enforced through Hamilton Traffic Bylaw, which was recently amended to reflect the truck route master plan. Yay, that means those bylaw officers now can pull you over as a truck driver, and that's a little scary right there. Anyway, the restriction of trucks over 4 axles from traveling within the areas of the downtown and other parts of the lower city, including Main Street East, King Street East, Claremont Access, Concession Street, and sections of Bay Street, Victoria Avenue North, Wellington Street North, Queenston North, Parkdale North, and more. That sounds like all the streets that I usually see trucks on, so I'm not sure where everybody's going to go. Removal of selected streets from the truck route network and modifications to certain time of day restrictions, including along Bay Street North, Stewart Street, and Queen Street North, which have been revised from full-time access to daytime access only. So no more night driving for you guys through Hamilton. These changes aim to improve the overall community livability and contribute to improved environmental and public health outcomes while supporting regional economic prosperity. How do you have economic prosperity if you're not allowing any trucks in the area? They're designed to keep trucks on suitable roadways and in turn help mitigate impacts such as noise, vibration, and safety for vulnerable road users. So right now, signage installations will take approximately 6 weeks, with over 600 signs being installed through Hamilton, beginning in the downtown and lower city, then expanding to other areas. All installations are expected to be completed by April 30th, 2023, weather permitting. And signage installations will occur outside of peak hours each day. to minimize traffic impacts. So restrictions are set out by the bylaw, will continue to be enforced solely by Hamilton Police Service, and will take effect progressively upon installation of the signage. The city's truck route signage system utilizes both permissive and restrictive truck route signage. Trucks are expected to follow designated routes, but may exit off the permissive route to access the destination using shortest distance from the truck route possible. So they can still cut through your neighborhood as long as they're addressed. That's not the same as the no trucking routes. So members of the community who identify trucks disobeying the city can report to the Hamilton Police if they want the non-emergency line. So now they say almost all materials now consumed in Hamilton reach their final destination by truck. That's true. And transportation in Hamilton has changed over the years with a reduced emphasis on heavy industry in the northeast quadrant of the lower city, and with the addition of major transportation facilities such as the Lincoln Alexander Park Red Hill system, Hamilton's truck routes are now suitable for the Hamiltons. So we'll see. I guess we'll see how that works. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I see a lot of those trucks, so I don't know. A lot of those heavy guys are located right on the. I don't know what's. Who knows how that's going to work, right? All right, so they were talking about changing the air brake test, and the air brake test for drivers is something that is going to affect all of us, especially when we rewrite and stuff like that, and we want to get your thoughts on that. So here is a little bit about what we talked about as far as air brake testing for commercial drivers and some of the changes they're thinking of. All right, so in the news today, we've got some trouble coming. This came across our at PMTC. They are looking at proposing changes to the way you get your air brake license, and a lot of people are not going to like this. Now, they're saying that it's too cumbersome a process right now. They're trying to make it more streamlined. However, the way they plan on doing it is through having people kind of watch videos, which we all know in the industry is not the best way for people to learn. It's helpful, but it's not the way that you should learn something. So PMTC sent this over. So they're right now as when you want to renew your license now, you go to the Drive Test Center. You have to write your A license or D license, whichever class you've got, and then you've got to redo your air brake. You just answer questions about your air brake. So now they're saying that they find out that a lot of vehicles are taken out of service because of air brakes. 22.8% of vehicles were taken out of service for defects. Of vehicles taken out of service, vehicles inspected in the USA, 36.9 had defects in the braking system. In Canada, the numbers were 48.4%. So that means obviously a lot of drivers are either not checking their brakes, don't know how to check their brakes. I still don't know why we haven't had technology to check these brakes. Seems to me an easy, with all the technology going into the trucks, anti-rollover, ELDs, all this stuff, we still have no way of really checking the brakes other than a twist tie on the thing or a little marker kit or something like that. So now they're saying that they want to introduce learning modules so that drivers will have to watch kind of a video series before they go write their test to show that they've conducted the right training, that they're up to date. Not necessarily a problem with that. What PMTC, Private Motor Truck Council, Mike Millions is saying, how do we know that the same person that's writing the test is the same person that took the videos? Because there's a lot of ways, and I'm going to say, in a lot of cultures, in some cultures, because English is not the first language, I find in class people helping each other out, which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing when you can help out too much and the person doesn't actually learn anything. And so they say that the argument from the ministry is that by removing a barrier, the driver is still going to be required to go to a drive test center to renew their license and do the written test after they do their commercial. The only burden this is removing is the requirement of the driver to pass the Z knowledge test. Well, it's already there. Why would you take it out? I don't understand why you'd take it out. You're not streamlining. You're not saving me like 5 minutes because you're taking out 10 questions or 20 questions. So what is it? 100? I don't even know how many questions it is for the Z license anymore. But I renew it every 5 years, and I think that's what gets you to knowing you're going in to renew it is what gets people to doing it. So it's really up to the companies to be kind of reviewing this throughout those 5 years. But if you're unable to pass the basic requirements for the knowledge test, they don't think that you should be on the highways with an air brake system. And I agree with that. But again, it just opens up for a lot of fraud. That's what PMTC is saying, and that's how a lot of people feel. And all those guys that got caught, their action was darn DOT. That's what Hey folks, have you heard about Driver Check and the services they offer? They have amazing services specifically for the transportation industry, along with many other industries. They have alcohol and drug testing, occupational health services, hearing protection, fit testing, and a whole lot more. They are a leader in how to handle cannabis in the workplace and also how to handle COVID in the workplace. And you do not want to miss their great event that they have each year, the annual Fitness for Duty Summit. So where can you learn more? Where can you get information in order to keep your workplace safe? Well, go to drivercheck.ca. And when you go there, if you meet the team, please let them know that the Lead Pedal Podcast sent you. Thanks very much, and we'll see you later. People often get into this industry and think that a quick way to do that. In fact, we just had some of the schools, charged with falsifying records. Hopefully that's not you. And this one is in the actual crane industry, which is even worse. But we're going to share a story with you about how falsifying your credentials can get you in some serious hot water. And if you've been working a crane, you might want to really listen to this. So stay tuned. LPR Live, and hey, next time you walk underneath a crane, you might want to look up, or actually you might want to walk around. Did you hear about this safety inspector who's falsified his credentials in the Kitchener-Waterloo area? Apparently, he was charged by the Crane Safety Inspection Service. He said that he was falsely represented himself as a professional engineer. A news release from the Professional Engineers Ontario Association. J. Lawrence Harding, also known as J. Lawrence Harding, I guess it's the same, operating under the name AJ Ontario Hoist Inspections, faces 352 charges under the Provincial Engineers Act and the Provincial Offences Act. He's accused of forging a seal and a title on his licensing, performing at least 80 inspections and non-destructive tests of cranes and lifting devices in the region of Waterloo in 2021. Man, how much trouble, like if someone died, and of course, I don't know if he's done any of these ones in Toronto, but for a while there was a rash of crane incidents in Toronto. Not sure if that's related, just thinking, holy crap. Apparently he relocated to New Brunswick, so if you're in New Brunswick and you're operating a crane, you might want to get that checked out again. And he incorporated a new sole proprietorship named AJ Hoist Inspections, therefore continuing to falsely represent himself as a professional engineer. The matter remains under investigation, but anyone with a seal or stamp certification bearing the name J.L. Harding or J. Harding or J. Harding, AJ Harding Hoist, or AJ has engaged with them is urged to contact the enforcement hotline and also get your crane checked. That's, oh man. Isn't that just crazy that someone would do something like that? I know, I can't believe. All right, so there's some of the hot topics we talked about in April. The best thing to do is tune into our LPR live show, which we talk about a lot more stories, and we have some music and stuff. We just pick one out of each episode there to share with you on the podcast to keep you up to date, and hopefully that's working for you. So hey, make sure you follow us. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can also find us on TikTok, and don't forget to download our app. Lead Pedal Media app has everything you need right in one spot. All right, my friends, talk to you later. Bye for now.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.